We noticed how the world is changing over a period of time. Yes, you've heard it right. Globalization has always been a part of it. But how about its impact on today's environment? Stay tuned as we dive deep into our world's current issues and trends, the globalization and its impact to the contemporary world. Globalization is the process of interaction and integration between people, businesses, and governments throughout the world. This involves the exchange of goods, services, ideas, and cultures between countries through developments in technology, communication, and transport. Globalization, as we know, was it greatly promotes the economic growth. It also fosters cultural interchange. It also advances technology and improves global cooperation as well. Globalization has a significant impact on society, the economy, and the environment. It refers to the connectivity of economies, cultures, and communities around the globe. In concept, maritime transport is a major contributor to GHG emissions because ships are burning oil for transporting large quantities of goods around the world. In fact, around 3% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions are generated by marine transport. As a result of the expansion of global trade, there is an increase in ship numbers and travel frequency, exacerbating this problem consequently. As a result, increasing demand for raw materials and finished products, extraction, processing, or transport activities greatly contributes to carbon dioxide emission hub tends to grow throughout the year. While globalization has offered numerous benefits, it has also raised various stresses about the environmental effects. It increases transportation of goods and services over long distances, which then lead to increased carbon emission, fluctuates air pollution, and resources depletion. Globalization has increased environmental deterioration by encouraging deforestation, overexploitation of natural resources due to anthropogenic activities, and pollution from transportation and manufacturing activities as well. As globalization continues, various negative impacts of it in global trade, especially on the environment, which then can be enlisted as first, considering its benefits in global trade can have a harmful impact on the environment, which then the reliance on long distance transportation adds to greenhouse gas emission and climate change. Furthermore, pursuing economic expansion through global trade may result in unsustainable resource extraction, environmental degradation, and biodiversity loss. To deal with these negative effects, sustainable practices, environmental rules, and international cooperation are required in order to reduce global trade's environmental footprint.
Climate change and globalization are two interconnected global challenges that have significant impacts on the environment and society. One important aspect of their connection lies in the transportations and the import of products, which contribute to the carbon emissions and subsequently climate change. This discussion will explore how transportation and the import of products are linked to carbon emissions and the implications for climate change mitigation efforts. Globalization has led to an exponential increase in the international trades and the movement of goods across long distances. This necessitates extensive transportation networks including shipping, aviation, and road transport. The carbon emission associated with these modes of transportation, primarily from the burning of fossil fuel, that contribute to the greenhouse gases emissions. And climate change. The transportation sector is a major contributor for global carbon emissions. Shipping and aviation, in particular, are responsible for the substantial amounts of greenhouse gases. Ships and airplanes rely heavily on fossil fuels, emitting significant amounts of carbon dioxide, as well as other greenhouse gases such as methane and nitrous oxide. Global supply chains often involve multiple stages of production, transportation, and distribution. Each stage contributes to the overall carbon intensity of a product. For instance, a raw material sourced from one region may undergo manufacturing in another, followed by transportation to yet another location for distribution. Each step requires energy and often involves carbon-intensive processes, resulting in a higher carbon emission. Developed countries often import a significant portion of their consumer goods from countries with low production costs. This practice is known as the carbon leakage, that can lead to the relocation of industries to regions with less stringent environmental regulations. Although the emissions occur elsewhere, the responsibility for those emissions lies partially with the importing countries. Here are a few mitigation strategies that can lower the carbon emissions regarding to transportation and import. Shifting towards renewable and low carbon energy sources for transportation, such as biofuels and electric vehicles. Implementing policies and regulations that incentivize carbon reductions and promote sustainable practices throughout the supply chain. Encouraging sustainable consumption patterns, such as supporting local and regional production, reducing the unnecessary transportations, and promoting circular economy principles.
And with that, this is the end of our presentation with the impacts of globalization in contemporary world, hoping that these platforms give us knowledge and realization for better learnings. Thank you and see you again.